One of the things that's been hard for me about this negative press and stuff, it's like one of the Netflix shows that came up is about a company that was doing abusive work. One of the guys that was helping them realized that this was not a good way to do this. It was very unsafe. And so he's the one that got a few of us together. And what we wanted to do, we were diametrically opposed to what they were doing in the wilderness. It was horrible. And so we started a company in opposition to what they were doing. And it's a little frustrating to me in these days that I don't get a chance to say, yeah, that was hellish. No, that was not what you're supposed to do. And what we did is create something that was safe and effective. And the first thing that we did is we went to the state and asked for a license. And they didn't have a license that fit, you know? So I sat down with the state licensure up there before we started our company and said, what do we do? Because we need to have regulations. And so we took a residential one and took all sorts of accommodations to be able to make it work so that we had a license when we started. And within a few months, some bad things had happened with that particular company or the people who came out of that company. And so the state said, okay, we're going to have a license for outdoor programs. And so I actually sat on the board. We sat around a table in a hotel in Salt Lake and helped write the regulations for how to keep outdoor programs for kids safe. And we needed to have that, and those licensing regulations are still in place here in Utah and all over the country. And so we wanted to have it safe and effective. I even talked to the school board and talked about how I could get the kids credits and set up a thing and wrote a curriculum because I used to be a teacher. We really put a full range program together when we first started that to make sure that we had the effectiveness and safety. And so it's really frustrating to me that there's so many negative things coming out, and about these kind of programs, because there are some that weren't safe and didn't do it right. But there are regulations. If you're not doing it right, all you have to do is turn somebody in and they get shut down. I mean, if that investigation is done and they can find that they were doing something wrong, then they shouldn't be in operation. But there's so many programs that we're operating in such an effective way and healthy and safe way. And, it's frustrating how all this has kind of come down and how it's affected the industry.